This question's deep. I don't know.
Hi, and welcome back to Veggies by EOS. I just filmed this whole video, which is basically just me taking the 16 personalities test. And I've taken this test 3 times in the past year and a half-ish, and I've gotten ESTJ every single time. So I assumed I was going to get ESTJ again, and I was going to title this video, ESTJ Takes Personality Test, like just so you can get an insight. But I didn't get ESTJ, I got ENTJ, and at the end of the video I kind of go over what are like personality traits of an ENTJ, and I personally think I resonate more with ESTJ rather than ENTJ, and my percentage of like N versus S is almost 50-50, so it's like very, very close to ESTJ, but in this particular video, I'm an ENTJ, so take with that what you will. I'm honestly not sure what I'm going to call this video because I believe that I am an ESTJ even though my result in this video doesn't state that. So I might still title this ESTJ, but just FYI, as I take this, what is my final result? It is an ENTJ instead. Kaya, what are you? Maybe Kai is an ENTJ. But without further ado, I hope you enjoyed this video. It's basically just me taking the personality test and talking about my answers.
Hi, and welcome back to Veggies by EOS. This is my first time doing like a screen recording, so I'm sorry if it's weird. It seems to be working, so as you can probably tell from the title, pretty self-explanatory what I'm going to be doing in this video. I am an ESTJ, and I'm going to be taking the 16 personalities test, as you can see on my screen. And for a few reasons, I feel like other ESTJs would find this video interesting just to see like what is another ESTJ's opinions and thoughts as they're taking the test. Do we have the same exact answers? I mean, I'm assuming we don't. So please comment below if you are an ESTJ watching this, where we differ, because I am sure we differ in some areas, but I'm not sure what we would differ in. And then if you're not an ESTJ watching this, but you just like to learn about the different personalities, that's cool too. I'm super into the different personalities. Or if you're just watching to support me, that's awesome too. So thank you. So I'm going to go ahead, click take the test. I think it's going to be easiest. Oh, what's going on? Oh, the test has started. I think it's going to be easiest if I just read the question out loud as opposed to you trying to like read it on YouTube. That might be difficult. So question number 1, you regularly make new friends. Oh, that's tough. I used to not at all. I would, if you were to ask me maybe 5 years ago, I would be over here and disagree, but it's easier for me to make new friends now. I wouldn't fully agree, so I'm going to go right there. You spend a lot of your free time exploring various random topics that pique your interest. That sounds interesting, but not necessarily, because I personally am so busy that I only have time to explore what I'm already interested in, which is like music. So I'm going to go, maybe not highly disagree, because that sounds interesting if I had more time, but I'm busy. Seeing other people cry can easily make you feel like you want to cry too. Sometimes it depends who. If it's like my best friend, that's different than like a stranger. Oh, I just realized there's a neutral button in the middle. Since I really can't decide, I'm just going to click neutral. You often make a backup plan for a backup plan. I can't think of a particular instance that I've done this in, but that sounds like something I would do. I'm going to go with closer to agree. You usually stay calm even under a lot of pressure. I'm going to go mostly agree on that. At social events, you rarely try to introduce yourself to new people and mostly talk to the ones you already know. See, this is tricky because if I'm in an event with like my best friend and then like 30 people that I don't know, obviously I'm kind of going to want to stay by my best friend. But if I'm at an event where like, I don't know. And again, like 5 years ago, I would have been like, oh yeah, 100% agree. But if given the opportunity, like if I'm standing somewhere and there's another person standing there, I would probably say hi. I don't know. Okay, first of all, COVID is a thing. I haven't been in a situation that this is explaining in like years, to be honest. So I honestly don't know. I'm just gonna put neutral because I honestly don't know. I really hope this whole screen recording works. And let me know if you want me to do any other tests this way. It sounds interesting. Like, this looks fun. Anyway, oh my god, I'm only 10% done. This test is like kind of long, but I recommend you take it. Your recording will end in 28 seconds. Okay, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Next question. You prefer to completely finish one project before starting another. The idea of that sounds nice, but I never actually do that. So, like, yeah, that sounds like nice to actually finish one thing before starting something else, but I'm gonna go closer to disagree just because I feel like I'm constantly working on 3 million things at once. Like, my to-do list always has 3 million things on it. You're very sentimental. Does that mean emotional? I'm gonna be honest, I have to look up this word. That's kind of embarrassing.
Ever prompted by feelings of tenderness, sadness, or nostalgia.
Okay. One of the synonyms is emotional. I don't think I'm emotional. So I'm going to go closer to disagree. You like to use organizing tools like schedules and lists. 110% agree. Like, if there was a button past agree, I would click that. Yes, 110%, literally. Okay, next question. Even a small mistake can cause you to doubt your overall abilities and knowledge. A little bit. I'm not going to go full agree on that, but especially like teaching. I mean, if anyone watching this is or has been a teacher, mistakes happen, and you can't let that get to you. And it doesn't get to me a ton, but it can get to me a little bit. You feel comfortable just walking up to someone you find interesting and striking up a conversation. Again, now versus 5 years ago. 5 years ago, I would not have felt comfortable at all. Whereas now, like, if someone's wearing like a t-shirt of like my favorite band, I would want to go up and talk to them. I would have to have a reason for me to find them interesting. But if I genuinely have something to say to them, I'm not going to go full agree on that. I'm not like 100% comfortable going up to a stranger, but I'm going to go agree. You are not too interested in discussing various interpretations and analyses of creative works. So it's saying I'm not interested in discussing. Well, I'm going to I feel like this is a double negative. This question's confusing me, but I mean, my major is literally music, so obviously I like discussing various interpretations. I have various interpretations to things I do for school. So, like, I am very interested in doing this. I think that question is just for the creativity aspect, because some of the personalities have like more creativeness than others. You're more inclined to follow your head than your heart. Yeah, I would say so. Maybe not full agree, but I would say so. You usually prefer just doing what you feel like at any given moment instead of planning a particular daily routine. This is tough, but I definitely prefer routine. Does a routine happen every day? No. I would prefer routine, to be honest. I'm debating going full disagree on this, because like there are days where I just am scatterbrained all day, but I'm gonna go full disagree, because if I could do an actual routine every day and actually follow it, I would prefer that. I know that doesn't make any sense. I hope like other ESTJs are watching this and can actually leave me feedback as to whether or not they agree or disagree with me on any of this. Please. If you have a friend that you know is an ESTJ, please send them this video. Okay. You rarely worry about whether you make a good impression on people you meet. I feel like everyone worries about this to an extent, but I don't worry about it a ton. Oh wait, it's another like double negative. You rarely worry about whether you make a good. Some of these questions you need to read like 3 times in order to understand them. So I rarely worry about whether or not I make a good impression. I guess I'll go maybe neutral on that. It kind of depends on the situation. If it's someone that I'm never going to see again, I could literally care less. If it's like a saxophone professor or something, and like, again, my major is saxophone, then I would, care more, if that makes sense. I have a feeling this video is going to be extremely long, so I'm so sorry. Anyway, you enjoy participating in group activities. It really depends on the situation. Like, are we talking a school assignment, or it completely depends on the situation. I'm just going to go neutral because it completely depends on the situation. No, I'm going to go with slightly agree. One of the reasons, just something popped into my head, one of the reasons why I stopped working for Uber and I now work at Domino's is because I like working with other people. Like, nothing against Uber, it was fine, but I just didn't like working by myself for myself. In like aspects of that, I highly prefer working with a group. Maybe I'll go like halfway agree on that. You like books and movies that make you come up with your own interpretation of the ending. That's interesting. This is bad to admit, I don't really read, and I also don't watch movies. I only watch TV shows. I only watch Criminal Minds, if we're being honest. But so I've never been in this situation, but I find that interesting. I'm gonna go slightly agree, because I like also would like to know what is the ending, but like the whole aspect of that sounds kind of interesting. Your happiness comes from helping others accomplish things than your own accomplishments. Okay, so I think it's saying I am happier by helping someone else accomplish something than my own accomplishment. And just relating that to teaching, I want to say like fully agree. I think all teachers would put fully agree on that one. So if we're relating it to teaching, like yes, fully agree. You are interested in so many things that you find it difficult to choose what to try next. I would put definitely agree to some extent, maybe halfway agree. I always feel like I'm so busy just with so many things, like there are other things I want to do and like don't have time for it. So I would put halfway agree. You are prone to worrying that things will take a turn for the worst. No, not really. I'm not really sure what that's referring to either. Put like halfway disagree. I'm not really sure. I think that just means like in life, like someone that worries all the time. I don't know. You avoid leadership roles in group settings. I'll put some type of disagree. Again, it kind of depends on what we're doing, but I don't necessarily avoid a leadership role. I'll put like halfway disagree. You are definitely not an artistic type of person. I would say in terms of music, I'm artistic. In terms of like drawing, no, but I'll put halfway disagree on that. You think the world would be a better place if people relied more on rationality and less on their feelings. I know one of the previous questions was basically asking, do I rely more on rationality than my feelings? I don't know if the world would necessarily be a better place. This question's deep. I don't know. I really don't know. Maybe to an extent. I'll put slightly agree. You prefer to do your chores before allowing yourself to relax. 1000% yes. My ex-boyfriend was the complete opposite, and it drove me nuts. I'm 1000% agree. He was 1000% disagree. Oh my gosh. Okay. You enjoy watching people argue. No? I'm not really I can't even think of a context. If it's like an interesting argument, then I guess, but I wouldn't necessarily sit here and watch someone argue. Maybe I'll put halfway disagree. That's kind of a weird question. You tend to avoid drawing attention to yourself. Yeah, I would put halfway agree on that. I don't necessarily try to draw attention to myself. Your mood can change very quickly. I don't think so. I'll just put halfway disagree. I'm not really putting like fully agree or fully disagree unless I'm like 1000% yes or no on it. Generally, maybe I will put fully disagree. I don't think my mood changes very much. You lose patience with people who are not as efficient as you. Definitely sometimes. It depends on the situation though. Relating this question to work, I wouldn't necessarily lose patience. Like if my coworker and I are doing the same thing and they're a little bit slower, I'm not going to lose my patience over that. But if it's a situation where it's like greatly affecting me, I can't even think of an example. This question is kind of hard because there are some examples of this where I would say yes and some no. So I guess I'll just put neutral since it kind of depends. You often end up doing things at the last possible moment. Again, it depends on the situation. These questions are really hard because it really depends on the situation. Sometimes, I guess I'll put slightly agree, but I think everyone procrastinates to an extent. I'm not a huge procrastinator, so I'll keep it at slightly agree. You have always been fascinated with the question of what, if anything, happens after death. Ooh, I am intrigued by that question. I don't think I would say I've always been fascinated by that question. It's not something I think about often. So I guess I'll put like slightly disagree. You usually prefer to be around others rather than on your own. Yes, unless I'm like working. Yes. You become bored or lose interest when the discussion gets highly theoretical. I mean, I would say no. So if we have a discussion that's highly theoretical, I wouldn't become bored or necessarily lose interest. I guess I'll put like slightly disagree. It's kind of a weird question. You find it easy to emphasize with a person whose experiences are very different. Okay. This comes to the whole emotion thing. I probably would not find it easy to emphasize, I can't say that word, whose experiences are very different. So yeah, I would say no, I do not find that easy. Should I put disagree or slightly disagree? Again, it's kind of situational. Okay, it says experiences are very different from yours. I'll full on put disagree for that. You usually postpone finalizing decisions for as long as possible. I don't like to do this, but I do. For example, I'm taking a road trip literally to Colorado in about a week and 2 days, and I just finalized my plans for Airbnb and hotels and stuff today, like this morning. So slightly agree. I don't like to do this, but I tend to do it. You rarely second guess the choices you have made. Again, this kind of depends on the situation, but I guess I would say I rarely second guess the choices I have made. After a long and exhausting week, a lively social event is just what you need. Either that or sleep. So I wouldn't go full on agree, but I mean, if I actually have nothing else to do, I would prefer to hang out with people. So I'll put agree or slightly agree. You enjoy going to art museums. Yeah, that sounds awesome. I'm actually going to the Art Institute of Chicago soon. You often have a hard time understanding other people's feelings. Yes, definitely. Even if like I understand they're feeling a certain way, it is hard for me to empathize with them. I can't pronounce that word. I'm sorry. So I'm going to put full on agree. You like to have a to-do list for each day. 1000% agree. I have a whiteboard because I used to use Post-it notes and I went through 8,000 Post-it notes a day. Not really, but I literally have a whiteboard up here with my to-do list for today and tomorrow. And like, you don't want to look at it. There's a lot of words on it. Anyway, I rarely feel insecure. Yeah, I would agree with that. Maybe not full on agree, but I would say I rarely feel insecure. You avoid making phone calls. No, if anything, phone calls are typically easier than emails. Again, depending on the situation. Like if it's easier to email someone, I'm going to email them. If it's easier to make a phone call, I'm going to make a phone call. So I would put full on disagree. I never avoid making phone calls. You often spend a lot of time trying to understand the views that are very different from your own. I'm very intrigued by views that are different from my own. I watch a lot of YouTube videos of people with different views or people debating. Like I was just watching a video actually yesterday. I think Jubilee posted it. It was liberals versus conservatives and their different views and opinions on different things. I often spend a lot of time trying to understand. I don't know if I'd say a lot of time. It's just that's something I like to watch on YouTube, but I wouldn't say a lot of time. I would definitely agree with this. I would put slightly agree. I don't even know there's like, okay, I keep saying like, when I say slightly agree, I mean like the middle one, and then agree is like the totally to the left, and then, I don't know. I'm sorry, this is confusing. In your social circle, you are often the one who contacts your friends and initiates activities. I would say so. I mean, obviously with COVID, this doesn't really happen. Maybe not 100% of the time, but yeah, I would definitely either put agree or slightly agree on that one. If your plans are interrupted, your top priority is to get back on track as soon as possible. Yeah, I would say so. I would put full on agree for that. You are still bothered by mistakes that you made a long time ago. I can't think of any off the top of my head, so I guess I'll put full on disagree. You rarely contemplate the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. I can't tell you the last time I've contemplated the reasons for human existence or the meaning of life. So I guess since I rarely contemplate that, I guess I'll put full on agree. Your emotions control you more than you control them. Definitely disagree. Some of these I don't know which disagree to put. I mean, I guess full on disagree. I don't know. You take great care. A part of me is like, watch me not even get ESTJ. I've taken this test 3 times in the past 2 years, 1 year, I don't know, and I've gotten ESTJ every time. A little concerned that I'm not going to get it again, but we will see. You take great care not to make people look bad, even when it is completely their fault. This is definitely situational. I wouldn't say I necessarily take great care not to make someone look bad. I guess slightly disagree. I can't really think of a situation for that, to be honest. We're almost done. Your personal work style is closer to spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. Oh, look what I can do. I can highlight things. Spontaneous. So it's basically saying when I'm working, I'm more so spontaneous bursts of energy than organized and consistent efforts. I'd prefer organized and consistent effort. I mean, obviously it depends on the day. You can't be organized and consistently working like 24/7, but I'm definitely going to disagree with that one. Maybe slightly disagree. It kind of depends on the day. When someone thinks highly of you, you wonder how long it will take them to feel disappointed in you. To be honest, I've never even thought of that. So I guess completely disagree. You would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. Oh my God, highly disagree. 100% disagree. Again, that was why I quit doing Uber. That was literally the reason. I mean, plus like the hours with Uber are like a little sketchy, like not guaranteed. But yeah, you would love a job that requires you to work alone most of the time. No, 100% disagree. You believe that pondering abstract, philosophical questions is a waste of time. Sounds like something my dad would do. I find that like maybe interesting. I definitely wouldn't say it's a waste of time. I don't think it's something I would do for fun. I'll just put slightly disagree. I don't think it's a waste of time, but I wouldn't like do that for fun. Okay, next question. You feel more drawn to places with busy, bustling atmospheres than quiet, intimate places. This is, again, completely situational. Like if I have stuff I need to get done and I need to focus and I can't have background noises, no, I would rather prefer the quiet, intimate play. Some of these questions are weird and completely situational. I mean, in general, I would say I agree, unless I'm like trying to like write a paper and I need peace and quiet. I don't really know what this question is going for. I'll put slightly agree. You know at first glance how someone is feeling. Oh God, no. You often feel overwhelmed. Yes, just because I put it upon myself. And I try to do too many things at once, but that's my own fault. But yes, I often feel overwhelmed because of that. You complete things methodically without skipping over any steps. Again, completely situational, but in some things I would skip over steps, and in some things they need to be done methodically. Maybe I'll put neutral. I don't really know. You are very intrigued by things labeled as controversial. Definitely intrigued. And like going back to that other question, I like to hear different people's opinions. So I'll put, yeah, I'm intrigued by that. You would pass along a good opportunity if you thought someone else needed it more. Oof. I'm assuming this is going for like if I was, say, me and a friend were like competing for the same job and I was offered the job, but I thought someone else needed it more. I mean, if I was in that situation with a friend, that would be a really hard decision, but like, I don't necessarily think I would pass up a good opportunity just because someone else needed it more. Especially if it was not a friend. If it was a friend, that makes it kind of tough, but no, I would not do that. I'll put slightly disagree. You struggle with deadlines. No, I wouldn't say so. Should I put full on disagree? I don't know if it matters. I mean, I don't really think I struggle with deadlines, so I'll put full on disagree. You feel confident. Oh, is this the last question? Ooh, you feel confident that things will work out for you. Yeah, I'm pretty confident that things will work out for me. Do I put fully agree or slightly? I'll put slightly because it's hard to like be 100% confident that like I'll be exactly where I want in 5 years, but I am pretty confident that that will happen. My gender is female. Whoa! I'm not an ESTJ anymore. What? Oh, my dog's getting up. Oh my God, I'm not an ESTJ? I'm so surprised. Now I need to like film an intro to this video and be like, yo, I thought I was an ESTJ and I'm not anymore. So I'm an ENTJ, so I'm similar. I'm not that different. What does the N stand for? I think the N comes in from here. So, okay, because the E is extroverted, and to be honest, last time, or not last time, but one of the other times I've taken this, because right now I'm 74 versus 26. I used to be closer to 50-50 on this. I should actually kind of like look back in my email and find my old test results. I definitely used to be closer to 50-50 on extroverted versus introverted. Now I'm mostly extroverted. This is where we change. Show my energy. This trait shows where we direct our mental energy. I am, okay, to be fair, this is almost 50-50, so I'm not that surprised that it changed. So I guess I'm now more intuitive rather than observant. Yeah, I don't have like, if you were to ask me, like, are you more intuitive or observant? I'd be like, I'm not really sure. Again, situational. I'm not really sure. So I guess I'm not that surprised that that changed because I don't really know which one I am more. For thinking versus feeling, 110% thinking. That makes sense that it's higher on thinking. And then judging versus prospecting. Apparently I'm a judgy person. Sorry. I don't know if I would necessarily like label myself as judgy, but I apparently am. And then I don't understand the last part. I don't even know what I've been in the past. I'm an A. I usually just look at the first four letters. I don't know if I've been an A in the past. Assertive versus turbulent. Yeah, I usually only pay attention to the first four letters, to be honest. I don't know much about that. But I'm apparently a commander now. I can't believe my personality type changed. So I'm an ENTJ. I'm gonna be honest, I have read like all of this stuff here for the ESTJ, and I felt like I very, very well resonated with the ESTJ. Gordon Ramsay and Steve Jobs. I'm apparently Gordon Ramsay. Oh my gosh. Strengths and weaknesses. I'm kind of efficient. I would like to think I'm efficient. I'm not always. Energetic, self-confident, strong-willed, strategic thinkers, charismatic and inspiring. I'm gonna be honest, I feel like I'm an ESTJ, not an ENTJ. I mean, what are my weaknesses? Stubborn, indominant, intolerant, impatient. That's not true at all. I generally am extremely patient. There's a couple situations where I might get impatient. Arrogant? Oh yeah, I would agree with poor handling of emotions maybe. And I can maybe sometimes be cold, but I'm not impatient. I would like to think I'm not arrogant. I usually am not stubborn. I am an ESTJ. I'm mad at this. I'm an ESTJ. Come on. I am not. Well, I'm still going to post this video, I guess, even though I don't really agree with my ENTJ results. Maybe I am stubborn. I don't want to like read all of this. I don't really know what else to say. After reading about the ENTJ, I honestly feel like I am not an ENTJ and that I am an ESTJ. And again, the only thing, like, wait, where'd my thing go? Over here on the right. The only thing that's different is that my 56% intuitive versus 44% observant, that used to be flipped. And that's almost 50-50. So I'm going to say that I think I'm an ESTJ still, and I'm still going to call myself an ESTJ. Maybe I'll take this test again in like, I don't know, 5 months or something and see what I get. If I get ENTJ again, I'll be like, oh, guess I'm an ENTJ. But for now, I'm going to continue to call myself ESTJ. I think I'm going to film an intro for this video. Okay, I actually just went and found my old test results. I know I've taken it 2 other times, but it's showing my test results from the very first time I took it, which was March of 2020. One of the things I did during quarantine, back when we thought quarantine was only going to last 2 weeks. But anyway, it's kind of interesting to see how different, even though it's, I mean, instead of an S, it's an N, how different my percentages are. I was still extroverted, but only 53% compared to 74. I was actually 68% observant. I thought like that it would have been like closer to 50-50. Like now it is about 50-50, but I was actually 68% observant. So that's a big change. Thinking I was 51 and now I'm 69. So that's actually a really big change too. And then judging is about the same, 76% and 74%. Oh, and then the last thing, assertive. Okay, so assertive was pretty similar. I was 69% and now I'm 75, so that's pretty close. Interesting. I would recommend, even if you've taken the test before, to take it again, unless you took it like yesterday. Because yeah, this was from March of 2020. In my opinion, that's kind of a big difference actually in just a year. So there you have it. That was my old test.
Hey, thank you for watching. Again, I feel like I am an ESTJ still. I kind of want to take the test again in like a month and just see what I get, but we shall see. I also kind of am curious if they changed the questions to this test or if it's always been the same set of questions, because some of those questions I do not remember. Some of them I do remember taking in the past, but some I don't. So I'm wondering if they changed the question slightly and if that's why my answer was different. I mean, regardless, I still have the E, I still have the T, and I still have the J. It's just the N versus S that's like 50-50. That apparently I'm debating with myself which one I am. But thank you for watching. If you're an ESTJ or an ENTJ, please comment below and let me know, just listening to me, if you think I am what you are or not, because I would be curious to know, like, other people that actually are ESTJs or ENTJs, what they think about my answers. Or if you're neither of those, just comment below, like, what is your personality type, if you know it. If you don't know it, I would recommend taking the test. It's pretty interesting. And even if you don't know if you're an introvert versus extrovert, even if that's all you want to know, it will at least tell you that, whether you are an extrovert or an introvert. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye.